husband if I had time anytime this week, or if I had the energy to do this, I would do it for him so that we don't have to do it on a weekend or in the middle of the night. Not the middle of the night, but it just feels like the middle of the night when he comes home at night because it's dark when he comes home, so we have to do it in the dark. And we've been doing other projects in the dark, but I'd like to not do this one because it goes all the way down there. And I don't want to go down in the woods in the dark at night. So I'm gonna do this today during the day while the miracle of both of my kids sleeping is happening. Take advantage of this time and take all of this down. Now everything is taken down. I'm bringing it all to the shed over here, and I will let Montana decide what he wants to do with it from there. All right, everything is set right there for Montana to decide what to do with. I know we have some plans for it later in the spring, so I'll let him decide where he wants to put it till then. But while I'm over here, I guess I should show you what we was working on last night. Have a fence to build. We built it. Not a very big one, but it will do for the very short amount of time that we need it. So, I mean, it's pretty good sized. There's Montana's bike next to it. I mean, it's at least 2 or 3 of it wide. So it's pretty well sized. While Tana's over there weed eating, or using the weed eater to mulch up the leaves in the garden, I thought I would show you guys what we built this extra pen for. I'm sure you can already hear. We brought home 3 new goats. They're living in this, like I showed you the other day, this little pen for now, because we learned that you are supposed to quarantine goats for at least 2 weeks, or I think it's 1 to 2 weeks. No, I don't remember, but we're gonna quarantine them for 2 weeks before we put them in with our other goats, so that any sort of like, just to kind of let them acclimate to our environment and our minerals in our ground and the different kind of food that we're going to give them and all the things before we put them in with the other goats, so that if they're going to get sick, they don't get our other goats sick, or our goats don't get these guys sick, because they're already been on our land for a long time. And yeah, there's a lot to why you should quarantine them. But they're 3 girls, and let me tell you, it was quite the ordeal to get these guys home, because as you could see just a minute ago, and I think we showed it last week, Montana's truck is down for the count at the moment. And so yeah, we had to haul them in our Blazer, and I'll just show you guys a little clip of what that looked like.
They're much bigger than I thought they was going to be. Goats in an SUV. Goats in an SUV.
This is much more uncomfortable than it looks.
Homestead things. When the truck breaks down and someone gives you a good price on goats, you go get those goats however you can. Yeah. And that is a Blazer with 4 with 3 full-size goats. Or I guess they're full-grown Nigerian dwarfs, but still, they're pretty good sized goats.
She's all the way down to the floorboard. And there's
Luckily, it's only about 15 minutes from the house.
But yeah, we've got 3 females. They are very, very cute. I love them very much. We have a blue-eyed girl right there, and then a spotted girl, and then this one looks a lot like Dolly actually, but she's got quite a bit more black on her. At her old home, she was known as Bam Bam because she liked to ram things. And I think that's kind of funny. But she's a big girl. They're a big girl. They all are. They're big girls. But they're all very friendly, very sweet. After we quarantine them in here, what we're actually going to do is we're going to take our temporary electric fence that I took down earlier this week, and we're going to divide the big pen in half, and we're going to put them in one half, and our other 2 girls in the other half, and put Hank in with the new girls, because our girls are going to have babies in a few months, and we want to kind of give them some separation from the Billy for a little while, and so that they can have their babies. And in the meantime, these guys have never been with a Billy before, and so they are hopefully going to be mamas later in the spring, maybe early summer. So hopefully that all works out well. But yeah, I mean, we're going to separate the big pen for multiple reasons. One, so that they don't stress the new mamas out, and so that they can get bred, they can keep the Billy company while they're there, and also because we do electric fence during the summertime, it will also get them used to an electric fence because they've never been in an electric fence before. So it kind of gives them a taste of, what it is, and they can learn to respect it before we go putting them in an entire fence of electric fence. They can just have one side of it, and if they go through it at first, it's no big deal because they're just going into the other pen, and they're already going to be quarantined at that point. So it's not going to be a big deal if they go through it, but it's going to kind of teach them what it is, and hopefully they will learn to respect it. But these 2 are all snuggly and cute. I love that. This one I've heard is quite the bully, but I'm hoping that changes. But yep, these are our new goats. I love this one. She's not standing up right now, but when she stands up, you can see that she has boots. And at her old home, she was called Boots with the Furs. And I think that's so funny. But hello. But that's our new goats. That's what this fence is for.
About 35 degrees outside, and shorts and Croc and doing chores. It's cold, but oh well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell from my time lapse, I have hit a very substantial rock. I have been beating on this rock for a good 20 minutes with a rock bar. I'm kind of getting through it, but I don't know how thick it is. But so it's going to have to be through it because this is a main corner post. So here, I'll show you. Right there, it's gonna run to here. And then from there, it's gonna run to the front of the trailer there. So this is a intersecting post. So it's gonna be pulled both ways into this corner. So it's gonna have to be deep. I'm only about 26 inches right now. So I'm gonna cut off the video and try to get it deep. It's gonna take too long if I try to film it all. It may take me a day or so to get this post in, just because I gotta drive so far. And then I hit this big rock. I may be through it in an inch. It may be a ledge rock, who knows? I mean, without being able to see the rock itself, you don't know how deep it goes. So I'm gonna beat on it some more, and when I get through, I'll pick you guys back up. It may be today, it may be another day. So I just thought I'd give you a little heads up on that. All right, so we're making a little bit of progress. I widened this hole out so I could get down in there, but I'm still just busting out chunks. Hopefully I'm through it before too long, because this hole needs to be about 40 inches. Like I was saying, it's a main corner post. We're just doing electric wire, but it still needs to be as deep and strong as possible. So I've been at it for probably about 45 minutes now, but it looks like some hope's coming through. So I'll just keep updating you. All right, I got her dug down to about 34 inches. So we're gonna call her good and gonna get this put up, and then this front run will be done. We're probably gonna do at least one more today. So we're doing ribs for dinner, and we are also doing, let me go take you out to the smoker, which is our oven for the moment, if you've been following along. Oh, that's hot. Oof. A little bit of a veggie tray, little bake veggie tray.
I've been reviving my sourdough starter, and I finally got to the point where I was confident enough to make some bread.